Hey guys, I've been having a little bit of problems with my windshield washer fluid here in my 2017 Super Duty truck. I've got an F250 here with a 6.7 liter Powerstroke in it. The windshield washer reservoir is right here in front of the driver's side battery. I've done a little bit of diagnostic work already. I've gone through, I've checked the lines here underneath the cowling. The lines are clear, there's nothing blocking them, and so I think the problem rests somewhere in the reservoir itself, the pump itself, or the screen that's in front of the pump. So I'm going to take that apart, do a little analysis, and see what we can come up with. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier in the video, the windshield washer reservoir is located right here on the driver's side underneath the battery. In order to access the pump and the screen that we need to check, we're going to have to remove this plastic covering, the front grille, and the front driver's headlight. It sounds more complicated than it is, but it's actually very easy. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to remove all of these body pins from this plastic part so we can take it out. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is we're going to have to remove a couple things. These body pins right here are easily removed with a trim removal tool. I got a pack of these on Amazon. I want to say they're less than 15 bucks, less than 20, less than 15 bucks. Pretty inexpensive for a good set of trim removal tools. They'll save you more times than you know. So we're going to take off each of these pins. We're also going to take out this front air intake here as well. And we'll start through that process right now. All right, so we've removed all of the trim tabs here. Next thing we need to do is take this out. So there's this air intake. This goes into the box, the filter box back here. It runs under the battery and right back to here. So in order to take this out, we've removed this pin, and there's two black little clips in here. You just depress those, and this will pop right out once you've taken that pin out. Once that pops out, you'll be able to remove this entire thing. Okay, now that we've removed all the trim tabs, we have several 10mm bolts that we need to pull out here. There is 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. Let's get started on that. All right, now that we have that done, we're gonna need a long-handled screwdriver. There are several clips, metal clips that I'll show you here in a moment. When you pull the top part of this grill out, you have to depress those clips in order to pull it out completely. So give the grill a good tug. It's going to require a little bit of force. Just remember, it's still connected down at the bottom. All right. Okay, these are the clips that I'm talking about. You'll see them down here. Right there is where you're going to need to depress, where that the big hole is, right there where my finger's covering up, right there. That's where you need to depress on 3 areas here. So you've got one there, one there. Actually, it's going to be 4 areas. One here and one over there. So I'm going to get started with that. All right, so I'm going to take my long-handled screwdriver. I'm going to reach down and press in there. Got that one. Third. Four. The whole grill will pop right out. Okay, we've got 4 more 10mm bolts that we'll need to remove in order to get rid of the headlight. There's one at the top, one right here. The third one is going to be right here, and the fourth one will be right here on the side of the fender. We'll get to those here. Okay, our fourth bolt is going to be right under here. There's some weather stripping that if you reach in the front of the headlight, you can start to pull the weather stripping out. When you pull this weather stripping out, it'll reveal the bolt right in here. If you can, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it's that bolt right there. So we're gonna use our 10 mil, take that out. Got that out. Okay, now as far as this headlight goes, we're going to pull out in this direction. We're going to be careful understanding that our headlights are still connected, so we're going to have to disconnect those once we pull this entire headlight out. We have to finagle with it a little bit. From here, you're just going to disconnect all your lights. They're pretty easy. Remember, the gray cable goes on top, and the black cable goes to the bottom headlight. Then you have your side blinker marker light, which is this gray one here. All right, so right behind the headlight, right here, this is our washer fluid pump. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect it. There's this little clip right here, and it just pops right off. Move that out of the way. I have a flexible funnel that I use for oil changes here. This is another great pickup on Amazon. Aries is the name of the company that makes these flexible funnels. I've had to extend it with a paper plate. Just kind of do what I gotta do to get by here. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right here. And we're gonna see how it works out for us to filter it out. Now, to get it out of here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull, you pull out on this. Release this hose from here. See how slow it was coming out. So once I get that out, I can pull on this, and that'll just kind of like pop out of its slot that it's in there. Once that's popped out of there, I'll be able to kind of wiggle this pump out of place. It just, there we go. So there goes all of our fluid. And there's lots of gunk in there for sure. Ooh, it is clogged. I'll show you that as soon as all the fluid gets done draining out. You'll be able to see the clog right there. All that clogged right there. So we've got that out of the way. All kinds of stuff in here. And there's a little rubber grommet in here too that you can pop out. That will probably be clogged as well. Show that to you guys. So you can see kind of all the old blue washer fluid that the previous owner had used in there. I used a different kind of washer fluid. So that's starting to clog up there. This could use a good washing. And let me show you guys the little filter that's on here. You'll kind of see that right in there. It's just clogged full of stuff. So I'm going to take that inside of the mud sink, clean that out, and then we'll put everything back. So here's what was in the reservoir. You guys can see that blue gunk. That all these things were in there. Clogging things up. You can see there's even some stuff still hanging around in there that I'm going to clean out. And let me give you a better look at what that looked like. Just nasty. So let's take that in, clean it out, and reinstall everything. All right, I've taken it inside, I've washed everything out. It's much cleaner now. I got all the old gunk out of there. Wash this grommet off too. So all we're gonna do is kind of reverse what we've done from here on out. Get rid of my funnel there. I'm gonna put the grommet in. Make sure that seats in there properly. You'll know when it does, there's a little kind of shoulder it has to get over, a little ledge. There we go. So that's all the way in there. So we're gonna put our pump back in there. It's gonna seat back in there. Okay, we've got it seated back in there. Just give it a good push to get it in there solid. Now we're going to reconnect our washer fluid line. It goes to the nozzle. Refill and check for leaks. Let's check for leaks. Don't see any. That's good. Okay. I'm just going to connect this back. Actually, let's pull out all of our wires that we hid to get them out of the way. Don't forget to connect your pump motor back. Okay. It's connected back. And we've got a headlight to put back. And we'll kind of reverse out of there. Okay, now that we have everything in there put back together, we're going to put our headlight back on. You remember earlier, the gray cable goes to the top headlight, black cable goes to the bottom headlight. So I'm going to connect those. Okay, all these are all connected back. Again, we're just kind of reverse what we did earlier. Get your cables in order. Nothing gets pinched. Just going to insert it back. All right, let's get this thing bolted back in. Okay, we're going to put our grill back on now. Just going to set everything in place here. These bottom clips are going to slide right back where they were. Give everything a good push in a couple of different areas. You'll hear each of those clips pop back into place. That's on good and solid. Next, put these 10mm bolts back. Now, put our plastic cover in place. That'll sit right down in there. And we're going to put all of the body clips back in place as well. You guys can see that. Now save the body clip that was for the air intake over here. And that one's skinnier, smaller than the rest. Here's a difference. It will look like this, and your others will look like this. So you can see this one's a fair bit skinnier. So save this one. All right, now we're going to install this back in. We're going to take this. It's going to just slide right back where it came down from. Hear it click in place. Make sure both sides are clicked. Put our pin in. Push down to install. And we're good to go. All right, as you can see, that fixed our problem. So the windshield wiper nozzles now work. We were able to do an inexpensive repair there. We didn't have to buy a new pump. We didn't have to take it to the dealer. Hopefully this helps you out, be able to figure out how to get access to your reservoir pump and make your windshield wipers work again. So thanks for taking the time to watch, and I hope it helped you out.